You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily represent those of the network, its advertisers, owners, or sponsors.
Welcome. Thank you for clicking play. This is episode 252 of the one and only IT in the D Show.
From the one and only Podcast Detroit, damn it.
Ah, that's right. Hey, guests this week include Ed Markert and Dave Dulac from Kelly Services. We're going to talk about IT recruiting today, and don't need to be a .NET or Java developer to get a recruiter to talk to you, and we're going to talk to them why.
Cool.
And we also have the team. They're a lot of fun. This is going to be a great segment.
I feel like they're going to wire up the room and make it hard for us to get out.
Oh, totally.
During one of the breaks.
Sherry, Todd, and Luca are here from Fifth Wall Escape Room. Now, normally we wouldn't have escape rooms in, but the technology that they have used to wire up this facility is mind-blowing, and we definitely want to talk to them. So, hey, this show is brought to you by our good friends at Huawei, introducing the Huawei MateBook X Pro, winner of 27 global awards that now comes with Windows Hello. Unlock your Huawei MateBook X Pro with a touch of your fingerprint, secure, fast, no password to remember. For a limited time, get a free $300 gift card with purchase. Do us a favor. Go to a Microsoft store near you today.
I like
check
free
them
money.
out. Exactly.
I like free is good.
Dave, you may fire when ready.
You trying to tell me to shut up and just play
Yes,
the thing?
as always.
I'll do that.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT and the D Show.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit?
Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up! Hey, Dad, how this is Pinky, the genius, the real genius behind Pinky the Brain. And when we take over the world, the only show that people will be able to listen to is IT in the D with Bob, Dave, and Yuri. No!
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bumhole?
Exactly.
Come on. Try.
What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the TV show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is David Kay, the voice of Professor Xavier from X-Men Evolution. Storm, come here, Storm. Sit on my lap, Storm.
You're listening to IT in the D.
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. You're listening to IT in the D. And if you want to get your money's worth, stay right here. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
What is a nerd?
Hi, this is Ogre. You listen to a bunch of nerds on the IT and the D? Nerd.
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hi, it's Julia Montgomery from Revenge of the Nerds. I listen to IT&D, and I'm in love with a nerd. Mwah!
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
Hey, what up? This is Jay Muse, and you're listening to the IT and D Show. Snooch to the noobs. Listen, Muse, Snoogans.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump. IT and the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, the Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy.
Ho! Hello, smart people. Yakko Warner here, and the only show we listen to in the Water Tower is Bob, Dave, and Nuri at IT and the D. Good night, everybody!
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. So, Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, hon, you better buckle up. Buckle this. Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome back, and thank you for listening to the longest intro in the history of podcasting.
Actually, ours used to be longer. We still haven't hit. We have not risen back to the 5-minute mark yet.
You can't go there. We could.
We were before. It is about time to clip it a little bit.
But
There's nothing that I enjoy more than watching first-time guests listen to the intro.
This is the one and only IT and the D Show, broadcasting live here in Studio One, Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy. That is Dave, the geek. Randy, I do the Twitters. Walker is doing the Twitters. Find us online, itinthed.com. You know what? Because we are IT and the D, and you.
And we're also Podcast Detroit.
Right.
And you're not.
Making vanity URLs. You're a cute one. Oh, I love you. Muy, muy.
Mwah! Hey, so here's the deal. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned IT professional, IT Pro TV is the only source you need. Learn the skills that you need to pass the most in-demand IT certs from entry-level to advanced with engaging hosts and a talk show-style format. They call it binge-worthy learning. Their extensive course library includes CEH V9, CISA, CompTIA, Mac Certified Support Professional, and more. There's no need to leave home. Stream courses live and on demand from your desktop, mobile device, Apple TV, even your Roku and Fire TV. That's kind of a cool thing. Like we just bought a couple more Rokus for the bar. We can sit at the bar and learn stuff if we want to. We probably won't, but we could if we chose to. So here's what you do. Visit itpro.tv/IT&the-D and use code IT&the-D, all one word, to give it a shot free for 7 days. And you can also receive 30% off your monthly membership for the lifetime of your active subscription. Premium subscriptions, which include unlimited Kaplan practice exams and virtual labs, are normally $857 per year. But when you use the code IT&the-D, you're only going to pay $600 a year. Not bad. We liked free money.
Free's good.
$300. This is $257
I
off.
saw it's got like the practice tests and stuff. That's the whole point of it.
Make sure you can actually pass the exam when you're going to go take that. So choose a plan, create an account, and enjoy the journey. Visit itpro.tv/IT&the-D, and don't forget to use code IT&the-D. That's IT&the-D, all one word. And hey, as always, we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Good stuff, guys.
Absolutely appreciate it. Do us a favor, as you always do. Mark your calendars. I don't even keep track anymore because I don't even know where we are.
Thursday, Nancy Whiskey. Yeah.
Detroit Startup Weeks this week, and we're trying to piggyback off them. And so, like,
hey. We're piggybacking off.
Totally.
That. Yeah, we totally are, because it's not like we've had this scheduled
for 6
since
months.
December. Yeah.
Right.
But no, But no, that is one of the things that I wrote down. I mean, so Detroit Startup Week is going on downtown. It is a very cool event. We did a couple panels last year. We forgot to submit anything for this year.
It's all right.
So we're not sorry. But
Marcus Lemonis is going to be here on Wednesday.
Yep. But no, I mean,
you don't know who that is, by the way. That's the guy that does The Profit, which is like Shark Tank.
It's Guppy Tank.
Guppy Tank.
Yeah.
No, he does good stuff.
But no, so I mean, it is. I mean, it's a great program. There's stuff going on all week. Go check them out. It's Detroit Startup Week. They do very, very cool stuff. And a lot of people we know do cool stuff with them.
Yeah. We'll be drinking at Nancy Whiskey in Corktown from 5 until question mark.
Especially that week, yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. Yeah, and we'll be keep your eyes peeled for the Detroit shipping container opening. It's coming up. It's coming up. That's going to be one of the coolest places you will ever go to. I dig it. It's like
I guarantee it. Yeah.
It's like a mall food court for like cool people and hipsters. Like kind of.
With there's a stage.
Yeah.
I was talking we're gonna get Rocky to kind of christen the stage.
Balboa?
No, from the Nooner Show. Rocky.
Oh.
Vellucci.
I know. Hey, you remember when we were kids?
I remember.
When like the government would step in on monopolies and like broke up Ma Bell and like got rid of created 4 separate companies instead of AT&T owning everything.
Right.
And then the government got rid of CLEX because the competitive local exchange carriers, there was too much competition.
Right.
Bad. And now a U.S. District Court judge has approved the $85 billion with a B purchase of Time Warner by none other than
AT&T without restriction.
No.
So so this kind of continued. Like we talked about this a couple weeks ago with Comcast making an all cash offer to buy, I believe it was Fox Studios.
Yep.
More and more you're seeing where the provider, like your ISP, your delivery to home, is trying to own and buy the content as well. Because I mean, this literally, like, this gives them control. Like, this would mean AT&T owns HBO, CNN, and Warner Brothers.
And not only that, net neutrality is dead.
Yes, it is.
They can do whatever the F they want.
Exactly. Again, oh, gee, what a shock. They're prioritizing their own content from their own channels over anybody else's.
I'm
is
shocked.
that 0 rating I smell?
Yeah.
I'm shocked to tell you. They would never do that.
Yeah, no, it'll never happen, ever.
But at what point is this like, you know how we always talk about this? Like, at what point Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, and when is it just like, when's it enough? Like, is it always, like, is more? I know it's like a cliche from like Wall Street, the movie. Like, like, when is it enough? Like, what do you want? And they're always more. Like, at what point do you really need to buy a company for $85 billion just so you can own more? I mean, seriously, it's getting to, like, Zuckerberg too, same thing. When is it enough? How much money do you make, Bezos? You're worth more than twice as much.
I mean,
worth
he bought
more
the
than Bill
Washington
Gates.
Post.
He made $3 billion last week.
He's worth more than Bill Gates.
Remember when Amazon was losing money for like 12 straight years?
Yeah. and you knew this day was happening when they lost money. They're like, they're buying, they're losing money. Hopefully they'll make it up in volume.
Sorry, we lose a penny on every deal, but we make it up in volume. Wait, what?
Right. We're going to build but then we're going to build a massive data center and we're going to sell off our access. You're stupid. Right. Just watch and see.
Mm-hmm. But if you want to learn how to use Amazon Web Services, check out IT Pro TV.
Cheap plug, Randy.
Well done. So we mentioned HBO. I am not going to get into the politics of this. All I'm going to say is that Dennis Hoff, depending on who the pimp, the entrepreneur, the pimpreneur, whatever he is, the guy that owns the Bunny Ranch out in Nevada, wherever the hell that is.
And star of HBO's Cat House.
Yeah, just won the Republican primary.
Better
Where?
Pimp than a
in
Nazi?
Nevada.
No. Like, as a House of Rep?
Yes.
Like, well, okay, so if it's in that county, like, isn't
population 20.
But he knocked,
yeah.
dude, he knocked out like a long time incumbent to do so.
Knock out all the incumbents.
Well, there's that too.
Right.
But do you really want the star of HBO's Cat House in DC?
I was talking
we
to
have enough
somebody,
issues.
We either got to correct this ship, or we're going to end up as The Rock as the president in 2022.
Dude, Hector Elizondo, whatever the hell his name is, from Idiocracy. We are literally watching the first 10 minutes of Idiocracy play out before our eyes.
We're going to feed our crops Gatorade.
Because it's got electrolytes.
So exactly.
Rondo. That's what plants crave.
Right. I wouldn't mind that TV show.
Ow My Balls?
No, we already have that, though. That's America's Funniest Videos.
Chive TV is Ow My Balls.
Chive TV is America's Funny Videos. Right. We just need the gladiator thing with parole, or with what did they say? Someone that's on death row.
Yeah.
Let's have a gladiator show with death row people.
Absolutely, I'm all in.
Why not?
Cutest story of the week has to be the raccoon in St. Paul, Minnesota. I don't know if you caught this one or not, but it was MPR raccoon was the hashtag. Apparently, this little guy got himself stuck. He climbed up a building and then got stuck on a ledge and couldn't get back down. And so, like, people were taking photos. Were like, "Oh, someone saved the raccoon!" And then he just kept climbing higher. And apparently, he sat on the ledge outside of at the 23rd floor. There was a law firm, and it was hilarious because everybody's all concerned about it. And the raccoon, they got video, took an hour of video of the raccoon just sitting there bathing, doing its hair, taking a nap, chilling out. And what they finally, I guess they wound up putting cat food cans on hot, because they were like, well, we can't bring in the window washers because they might grab it, but they'd also probably scare it and it would jump to its death. So we'll just keep fun. We're just putting cat food cans out, and it made it all the way up to the roof, and then they captured it. I thought it was.
So what was the association to NPR though?
No, NPR, which I guess was the name of the building.
It was funny because over the weekend, NPR was making a big deal that it was a misnomer, and it was. So I think they were saying that it now is the host of Weekend Edition. So.
Oh, nice. Well, and of course, it took like 8 minutes before NPR Raccoon had its own Twitter account. Just like the cobra that got away from whatever zoo that was, the San Diego Zoo, the cobra that escaped. It's a thing.
So speaking of stupid animal stories, Dave, the new hotness is I
love this story.
It's not only when your animal dies, usually you bury it in the yard or you give it to the vet. Now you take it to a taxidermy and you spread it out like the flying raccoon in Bullwinkle.
Yep.
And you attach a drone to its legs.
Yep.
And then you get to fly your cat, your dog.
Yeah. Or an ostrich.
Or
in one case.
Someone did an ostrich.
Did you see
No.
that? You didn't? Oh, did you not watch the video?
I saw that cat and I turned it off.
Dude, somebody did. It's a 6-prop drone and it's an honest to God ostrich flying through the air.
Why?
I don't know. Why does Bezos need to buy more shit? Because they can.
Pretty soon it's going to be like, hey, look, grandma's in the sky. Like, stupid. Like,
Gotta send her to heaven somehow.
Everyone has pets, man. When's the last time? I really want to fly my dead cat around for another couple years.
There's a box of
Hi, Sparky.
ashes somewhere.
Let's
in
go
the house.
flying. Like, what?
Yeah, let him chase squirrels again, just for old time's sake.
Exactly.
I mean, the video's hilarious because it obviously freaks people out, but it's a thing.
But I like, you know what I like? I like people that hack because they're bored, not because they can. And so in Indonesia,
in Jakarta, yeah.
Guy was stuck in traffic.
Good old your friendly neighborhood IT worker. They made sure to point that out.
Only 24 years old. Basically got stuck in traffic for so long. He got so bored. He went and hacked into the digital billboard
that he'd been staring at for an hour.
Right. And basically streamed pornography.
Yeah. Started streaming Asian porn.
Right. On the billboard.
Which is apparently a huge deal in Jakarta.
Graffiti gets you caned.
Well, pornography is outlawed. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like a thing.
They arrested him. They said he could get 12 years for this.
What kind of porn was it?
Exactly.
It's just straight Asian porn.
Since it was in Asia, do you have to specify that it was Asian porn?
It featured Asian performers, and they made it a point of pointing it out. So I was just carrying forth the story.
Caucasian porn.
I know. Yeah, I know, Randy. In China, they just call it food.
No,
they don't call it. I know. I'm aware.
Here's the dumb part. Yeah, that's from Super Troopers too. Like the Canadian geese are on the highway. We're in Canada. They're just geese here. But they said the billboard displayed the login credentials on the billboard to get into the thing. So,
genius.
So you can't. It's not even hacking at that point.
It's not. Well, you remember the story about the kid in Russia that they tried to arrest for hacking the subway terminal, and they literally somebody had one of the workers had left a Post-it note with the admin login and password on the terminal, and they're like that's not hacking. Even in Russia, they were like, that's not hacking.
That's like my 12-year-old going hacked on Snapchat and post a picture on her friend's phone.
Right.
No, you just left your phone open.
Unlocked. Yeah, Bill.
Stupid Bill. Yeah, exactly. Actually, for if you're keeping score at home, the movie was Watch Tokyo Hot.
There you go.
I don't even know what that means, but that was the movie. Went for 10 minutes.
Probably Asian porn.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. No, I'm sure it was.
What else we got? We've got, so actually this is an interesting story. I thought the article that Mashable put out, about the gig economy effectively being dead. And I got some of what they were saying. I hardly ever take Uber anymore. I'm almost always exclusively with Lyft, just because Uber has turned into cranky ex-cab drivers, that don't speak a whole lot of English. And Lyft, I always have a great experience. They're just friendly, happier. They're better people overall. But I've had great experiences with Shipt, but I've had a couple other people that I've talked to that are like, oh yeah, they don't pay attention to the fruit. They don't do this. They don't check stuff. I'm like, well, you can put notes on it. They're like, well, I do. I'm like, all right, well, it's like Uber. You can just rate them a 1-star and they'll never shop for you again.
Did you see Myers competing with them now directly? The day after Shipt announced they were doing Target.
Well, Target bought Shipt.
Right. So now Myers introducing their own home delivery. Oh, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
You've been integrated there since day one. Why would you what?
Don't.
Nah.
Because
stop.
I just saying. Why don't Shipt people have their own line, by the way, at Meijer? Why'd I have to stand behind me? Because that's stupid.
Oh, they should.
I know.
Maybe the Shop Meyer people will.
Maybe they will. I'm sure they will.
See?
Story of the weekend, by the way.
How do we keep changing everybody else's business plans and getting no credit?
Shop Meyer says it's delivered by Shipped.
Is it?
Oh, there you go. Yes, that's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Story of the weekend, by the way, one of our neighbors was at a Meijer and he didn't get the cash back and his wife got so mad at him. She whipped a bottle of wine at him and it shattered everywhere. So like that's all the whole neighborhood was talking about all weekend, which is amazing.
Didn't get cash back?
Because he forgot to click the cash back on the register and she said we needed money. And so she whipped a bottle of wine at him. They live 3 doors down from me.
Love your neighborhood, Bob.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I know.
Your neighborhood.
This week.
Exactly. This week in Bob's neighborhood. But no, so I mean, I get it. Like and their whole premise is it's hard to, hire people remotely and basically, deal with whatever HR issues crop up and all that kind of nonsense.
No, it was, everyone was pitching Uber for X.
Uber
for X was like pitching Netflix. Like you've been greenlighted. You're Uber for toilet paper delivery.
Right.
Hey, you're greenlight. Here's $2 million.
Right.
Every Silicon Valley, we're going to do Uber for, blah.
Right.
Oh, you're greenlighted. Here's your money. Right.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I don't see it going away because there are too many lazy people like you and I in the world. Dude, I have not set foot in a Meijer in months.
I was in my first.
I never know what I want until I get to Meijer, though. I can't think ahead and plan out somebody else to shop for me.
Oh, that's the best.
Now, see, I got my wife in the kitchen in the pantry screaming out crap we need. And then I just sit on the couch and watch soccer. And then I plug it in, because now and now, and then the stuff comes in and out. The best is, oh my God, my wife, she's like, the earliest it can come, babe, is like 7 to 8. She's like, but this is garbage. It's like 5 o'clock. Like, babe,
yeah,
this didn't exist like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't have this. Yeah, now people are bringing groceries to our house.
Right.
Shut up about the
and
2 hour
I'm
wait.
paying them $10 to put it on the kitchen counter for crying out down the steps.
Right. Yeah.
And now
we don't have to go. We don't have to carry the bags.
Sorry, they won't be here in 15 minutes. Like, Jesus Christ.
Nice. So I would be remiss if we didn't at least mention the whole Chris Hardwick debacle.
Oh God,
dude. You know what? It's one of those things where. Dude, screw nerds in a lot of ways sometimes. I mean, so if you missed it, his ex-girlfriend, Chloe, published a note on Medium, that did not name him by name. But given the timing, the details, the ages and all that kind of fun crap, it cannot possibly be anybody but him. And he's a dick, is what it comes down to. He's a sexually abusive, just asshat who tried to have her blacklisted. And that's the best part is he issued a denial, and tried to get out, basically said, no, I didn't abuse her, but, didn't deny any of trying to get her blacklisted or any of that shit. People just pay attention to who you're getting involved with and all that shit for the love of God. And
at this point, this guy's made so much damn money though. Like, so what? You erased him from Nerdist? Like,
what you have? No, but dude, he's gonna so he's already been dropped from San Diego Comic-Con. He's always the big host there, hosting the big main panels and all that shit. They've dropped him. AMC has already pulled a show. NBC is looking at pulling a show that he was going to fire up there. Dude, it's like, and I get it. Like some people were like, oh well, because she had said something about, he gave her a list of rules 2 weeks in, and we were like, oh, you should have left then. That's a red flag. People, if you don't, like, I had a friend that went through this bullshit, and if you don't understand the mentality and the psychosis that kind of goes along with getting involved with one of these relationships, just shut the F up. Like, you don't get it. You're never going to get it. Like, this would never, no, a strong-willed, well-adjusted woman would have never fallen victim to this shit.
Well, that's the problem with this is now it's out in public. Now everyone's got an opinion and now everyone knows what happened and everyone knows what's going on.
Well, and that's the thing, so you look, like I said, I totally understood and I got behind the rational, calm responses of, well, let's at least hear what he has to say. Before we go firing up the pitchforks and flamethrowers and all that stuff, the vitriol and venom that got thrown her way is why there are days when I hate being a geek. And like, that was one of those days. Like that Twitter stream was just ridiculous. And it was all predominantly white, middle-aged nerds that were just launching shit at her. And it's the seedy underbelly of the internet. It's the downside of the internet.
As a white middle-aged nerd, knock it off.
Exactly.
It's the people that made the cute Asian girl from Star Wars quit all the social
And
media.
Daisy Ridley. And everybody,
Right.
it's like we just talked about this last week, and here we go again.
Right.
It's
So usually I don't take surveys or polls to heart because usually they only look at like 500 people or 1,000 people. This one did 9,000 people across like 8 or 9 countries.
Right.
UK, France, India, US. Got a pretty broad spectrum of humanity. Found out 4 out of 10, 40% of the people they talked to.
Way to do math there, Bob.
Removed 4 out of 10. Removed.
No, you were. I was giving you
I know
kudos.
I'm right.
You did that right.
I know I'm right. Notice how I don't make fun of you for fumbling your words in every read. You trash at me so hard when I fumble words.
You didn't even fumble. I was just being funny and giving.
No, but
you
earlier on.
Oh well, that
I
yeah.
just point that out. 40% though have quit social media in one way, shape, or form
Over privacy concerns.
Over privacy concerns. The Cambridge Analytica. Don't trust Facebooks no more. Don't trust the Twitters. Just gone. Poof.
And I can't say that I really blame them.
So it's going to be 40% people less at my Christmas party because I don't know how to invite them.
Right. Well, no, but but here's the sad reality: is are we losing 40% of the people that you actually want on social media?
I've unfollowed 40% of the people that I don't want. So
oh, absolutely.
Hopefully these are because you can't unfriend them because if you see them at Meijer, like, hey,
why'd you unfriend me?
Bob.
Hey, Charles, I tried to tag you in something and couldn't. Dick.
I get that from 2 of the house moms from school. I tried to tag your daughter in a picture. Oh God, yeah, I quit Facebook. It was just too much. I blocked you, you psycho. Like, but that's the problem is when you see people, it's like, I don't want to run into them at the bar. It's just unfollow. That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's easy enough. We good?
Are we talking GDPR?
Oh God, yeah, that's like the best thing that's happened on the internet.
So being in data security from 9 to 5, that's all anyone's talking about all day long is GDPR.
And this is the best side effect ever.
Right.
Networking too.
Is what?
Networking too. We're talking about it.
No, you're not. But it's
we are.
But like, I didn't even think that spam was a thing. It's funny. I had a conversation with one of the soccer dads who's a former CISO at a pretty big company downtown. And he's like, you know what I hate? You know what I hate? He goes, I'm reading white papers. And guess what happens when I read a white paper? Now I'm on a list. And now I get an email 3 days a week. Now I get an inside sales rep calling me. Now I get, he goes, now I'm in the never ending cycle of shit. Just because I wanted to read. But what's happening is
because I was curious enough to read your company's white paper to find out why you might be of benefit to me.
Right.
And now you're going to annoy the ever living hell out of me. Are you listening, Google Ad Services?
But I mean, they try to, and I've been part of this. I go, yeah, I was trying to get him into the sales world. And I said, yeah, you're on a drip campaign now, buddy. You're going to get it. I just sent a nasty email to a guy who sent every 7 days to IT and the D for us to resell telco, and I'm like, the ICC joined it because I wanted you to see what I wrote.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always do some research on your company, and for one, I don't even know who you are. Like, it's not like I went and clicked something on you, but apparently what GDPR is killing is spam.
Or just email marketing in general.
Marketing, right.
Because now, like, all those lists, and again, we've said since day one, we ain't building no email list. We ain't keeping no email list. We ain't managing no email list.
No.
Ain't never going to happen. And now all these people that, like, their livelihood depends on these giant-ass email spam marketing lists that they have. Oops.
See, now here's the problem. I'll give you an example. Like these drip campaigns, I've seen them in action. I wanted no part of it when I was with a couple of firms. Yeah. And what happens is I use Preview Pane on Outlook, which I think most people do. The really geeky geeks don't. I do, just because it's easy. And if you click and what the hell is this crap? And you look to the right and you're like,
it shows open.
It shows as open.
Yep.
So now I'm a statistic that says I opened your email.
That Bob reads my email.
Right. And all I do is click delete as fast as I humanly can.
No.
But now I'm right. But now I'm on a stupid list.
Well, yeah. So now, I mean, the whole thing with GDPR is now you have to get another layer of opt-in, and so all these privacy policy update emails are going out, and nobody's opening them. Well, the problem with that is that if you don't get the confirmation from somebody clicking a link in the email and going back and reaffirming their opt-in, you have to delete them. And so people are being forced to purge just like tens of thousands of people, which yay.
Well, you know what I found out with my company is if I put you into Salesforce or I met you at a conference
Yep.
or whatever, and I put in your contact info and your phone number and your email, you're on our list now.
Oh, of course.
So like one of our senior reps got an email from a very, very big company in New York saying, dude, if you send me one more of these, I'm throwing you out. This is like an $8 million a year account. And so he went up the flag and went nuts. So it's like, so basically told all the senior reps, don't put anyone's email address in Salesforce. Ever.
Yeah.
If you want to put a number in
at all.
Great. Don't ever put, and it's funny because we're trying to like be sales reps, but at the same time, we're trying to protect our customers from our stupid companies.
From our stupid other,
Right. Speaking of stupid companies, we're going to take a quick break.
Hey, not speaking of stupid companies, so I want to give a good shout out because we got a little kudos.
Bad segues all the time.
We got a little kudos earlier this week. So Detroit Labs has their apprentice program up and running. The enrollment or the application period closed Friday. They got more applications than they have ever gotten before. So we got a little thank you and kudos for that.
And a handful of emails of guys that saw Solo and said you were right.
Dude, honestly, that's the best. Like, so we've been talking about butthurt fanboys for a couple weeks now about boycotting Solo, and we have the friend on Facebook that we were talking about last week. Finally went and saw it, and what happened, Bob?
He liked it.
He
Mikey
loved
likes it.
And the guy that shot us an email, hey, I'm going to go see it just because you guys said I should, shot us another email this week. It was great.
It was good.
You guys were right.
I'm still not seeing 9.
I'm not going to see episode 9, but still a butthurt fanboy, but it was good.
So I was saying, speaking of
flying solo,
butthurt fanboys.
Yeah, butthurt fanboys.
We're gonna be back with Ed and Dave from Kelly Services talking recruiting. This is the IT in the D show.
Hey, we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITinthed.com.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 252, the one and only IT in the D show, broadcasting live here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That's Dave the Geek.
Where are we?
Podcast Detroit.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. We are Podcast Detroit now. Randy Walker, I do the Twitters, is in the house doing the Twitters. Find us online. I did it backwards, I know. Find us online, ITinthed.com, and do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, so introducing Huawei MateBook X Pro, winner of 27 awards at Mobile World Congress, including Best of Show Laptop, Best Innovation, Best Design, Editor's Choice, and Reader's Choice. With Windows Hello, you can unlock your Huawei MateBook X Pro with a touch of your fingerprint. It's secure, fast, no password to remember. The Huawei MateBook X Pro, now available at Microsoft stores, Amazon, and Newegg.com. We like all of those places. Good things. And for a limited time, get a free $300 gift card with purchase. Visit a Microsoft store near you today. Check them out.
Absolutely. Thanks for the support. And hey, we are joined in the studio. Ed and Dave are in the house from Kelly Services. Ed came all the way in from Philly, flew in, and boy, are his arms tired.
I drove.
But if you haven't met Dave Dulac, he is an absolute rock at our events. He's a regular fixture. He's been coming to our events, I think, since day one.
Well, I've literally known him for 20 years.
Right.
Literally.
But he's been since 2008. You've been pretty much coming to our events as a fixture. But guys, welcome. Appreciate coming out.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So what's going on with Kelly these days?
Absolutely nothing. That's why we're here.
All right, and break.
Let's go to escape room. Now, what we're doing is, I guess we've been around since 1946. IT for Kelly is fairly new, even though we've been doing IT for the last 8 years. What Dave does, what I'm being tasked to do is build out a brand new specialized IT recruiting team. We've been doing that extensively in my territory, which is Minnesota all the way over to Pennsylvania, for the past 3 years. So
that's a big territory.
Big territory. It's part of the North, but I have Kentucky somehow, so I don't know who drew those lines. But
see, I'm pretty sure Kentucky would not appreciate being told they're part of the North.
They still think they won the Civil War. Yes, I've been there several times.
The South shall rise again.
Yes.
Yeah. He likes bourbon, so
it's true.
So we're here just to get the word out about IT recruiting and almost having that agent-player relationship with IT folks, building those relationships and trying to be out there for anyone that's passively or actively looking, and see if we can help in any way.
So, I mean, the joke, it's not even funny anymore. But like, when people come to our events and say they're a .NET developer or say they, are a Java developer and they're not working.
The guy at Embrew.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'm a .NET developer. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a job.
What's wrong with you?
How long you been out of work? 8 weeks. Do you not want a job?
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Right. But I mean, is it a cliche for a reason, or is there a shift? When is the shift, or is that still the hot?
There is not an out of work .NET developer in the U.S. So I think the
except for that guy,
except for that guy,
except for that one,
yeah. Java developer at .NET. I think there's over 58,000 .NET full-time job ads in the U.S. that will go unfilled this year.
Oh my God!
So
wow, that's almost as God. We always talk about security, that there's like a negative unemployment rate with IT security right now. That's
Randy,
insane.
that's a good thing to tweet, by the way. I know.
Negative. I can do that.
No, the 58,000 unfilled.
I can do that too.
All right, just checking. No,
Keep
but
him on his toes.
No, but that's good to know, because I mean, here we are. We talk to everyone, and it's like, what's next? And I hate to keep saying the same thing, but it sounds like the same thing's still in dire need.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, to your point, though, I mean, a lot of people don't understand what recruiters are and do. And it's actually been a while since we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
It's like people always ask me, like, okay, you run this networking group with 8,000 odd people in it. You do all these events. What do you get out of it? So, all right, well, at the end of the day, here's what I get out of it. We've got 8,000 odd people in our events. About 1,000 of those are recruiters. There are 200 that are semi-regular at our events. There are 100 that are regulars. There are 30 that I've gotten to be friends with, like we're friends on Facebook. We'll go out drinking, that kind of stuff. There are 5 that I've gotten to be really good friends with. And when I need a job, I go to them. That's the point.
It's super critical. Yes.
Yeah. And like people don't understand that it's not like people get the headhunter term. They get they don't understand what a recruiter's really there to do. Like, you guys are there to be that bridge between company is hiring that isn't going to talk to you on their own, and to kind of be, like, as you said, that agent.
Yeah, it has to be a trusted resource. I mean, let's be honest, recruiters or sales folks. I didn't mean to be pointing at you.
No.
Yeah.
I fit the bill.
We're held in general disdain, right? We don't want anything to do with a police officer, but when we need one, we dial 911.
Right.
Right. So it's like the recruiter, like, you get that phone call, like, why are you calling me right now? It's like that unsolicited call. So
like the recruiters that show up at our events after 5 months of not seeing them. Oh, hey, what do you need?
Right.
I'm looking for a mobile app developer that
Right.
iOS and Android. It makes $80,000. No, it's really, to your point. You need to, whether it's Kelly Services or any staffing agency, it's about a relationship. You have to go to people that you trust. Someone that you build that's going to, not even if you're not looking, but someone to offer me value.
Yep.
Hey, this is where I see my career going. What do you think? What are you seeing in the marketplace? I'm thinking about business intelligence. It's like, yes, business intelligence in the past 10 years is going to be $1 trillion business.
Yep.
Yes, that's a good way to go, right? I'm interested in going to VB.net. Like, no, you're going the wrong way. Right. So it's like you want to have those trusted relationships, and when you need them, you want to lean on those individuals.
And that's what I never understood is you see the vitriol and the downright hate for the recruiting industry or / recruiters from the IT geek community, like the Uber geeks, because especially if they are really good and they're in hot commodity, every recruiter in town wants to talk to them, but they're like, kiss my ass until they're part of a riff or a layoff. And then the recruiters are best friend, and there's got to be some sort of balance. Well, how do you guys? I mean, that's a good thing. How do you guys tackle the ones that just like are like, screw you, I love you within a matter of weeks?
Well, there's a difference between, because I think a lot of the angst comes from. I mean, you've seen it. Like, I know we've had this chat before, where I get every 3 months, I can tell when a new recruiter starts somewhere. Like, because there are like 4 or 5 companies that used to be around all the time that aren't around anymore at our events, and every 3 months or so there'll be a new recruiter that starts there. Hey, just reaching out, I've got this gig that I would have no interest in whatsoever. Wanted to reach out and just update you in our database. No, don't know you, not talking to you, but hey, here's the link to our LinkedIn group. Sure. Here's the link to our events page. Come to one of our events. And literally, shit, maybe 10% do. Maybe
I'd say 4%.
Yeah, maybe
best.
There's a lot of people out there that basically have turned recruiting into telemarketing.
Yeah,
I'm going to call you up and ask you 5 questions.
they don't get their fight rate 5 answers, I'm just not going to even. Oh well, thanks. Goodbye.
Right.
It's not like
sorry.
what do you do? What do you want to do? I'm looking for the right job for you, not just.
I don't think
job
people
I
get
wanna
their.
fill today.
I don't think people get the relationship aspect of it.
No.
There has to be.
There are 0 barriers to get into this business. It's pretty much history. I'm a history major. What did you go to school for?
Biochem.
Advertising.
Yeah, advertising. So it's pretty much an island of misfit toys as for staffing. So everyone I work with is journalism degree, history degree. I thought I'd give it a try. So unfortunately, probably a big portion of the staffing industry, you're going to be inundated with calls and emails. It's a metrics driven organization. That's what we teach. So it's going to be phone calls, emails. So
give me the fax machine list so I can spend the last 2 hours of my day calling 30 faxes machines so I can get my numbers.
Your
up
call count up. Yeah. Well, and I'm sure I'm sure you remember. Oh yeah.
On that call though.
2 weeks ago, I was selling memberships at Lifetime Fitness. Don't ever say that again out loud.
Right.
So I'm fascinated by the rift or the you were talking earlier about how a lot of these developers they totally are not into recruiters at all, and then all of a sudden they are. Like, so
it's how do you feel when you get a call at 7:00 at night that you weren't expecting from a number like, oh, I think this is so and so, and you pick up the phone, you're going, hi, this is Ed. I was calling from Kelly Services. I wanted to see if you're looking for a job. You're like, oh, you get that pit in your stomach,
right?
So when you're not looking for that, but if someone's calling you and say, hey, listen, I know you're at work. You don't need to answer me. I have a great opportunity. It's 10 miles from the house. It's with this great company, great compensation, excellent benefits, work from home. I'm going to send you a link. If you're interested, take a look at the link. If not, you're not interested, don't get back to me. Bye.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're interested. Now you're intrigued, but it's the untrained 90% of just bombarding people with, hey, I need to hit my metrics. I need to talk to you and not provide value to you.
Right.
So when you're not providing value to someone, you kind of like have a disconnect immediately.
Well, it's like Dave and I have been writing. Dave wrote most of them, but it was the dating corollary. When you're looking and when you're not looking, and it's kind of like if you have a significant other and you're at the bar and someone talks to you, like screw you. But if you're single, you're like, I'll you're not my type, but I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, but if there's that, if there's that, you're saying that there's going to be, several thousand jobs that are unfilled this year. Like, so how do you as a recruiter go about enticing that?
It's the same way. It's the people that talk with me. I've been working with them since I graduated college.
Oh, all right. So you're building a
and
relationship.
then they say, call Ed. Every time I talk to Ed,
Right.
he provides value. If he's not even finding me a job opportunity, he's going to at least point me in the right direction. If he doesn't have something for me, he'll recommend me to another recruiter that would actually be able to help me. So it's like building that relationship.
Oh yeah, it's like Dave knows. Every time he's at one of our events, as soon as somebody says, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I'm looking for,"
Go talk to Dave.
Go talk to Dave.
Right.
Yeah,
and I'll walk him over. Hey, this is yeah.
And if it's a first time recruiter, we don't.
Nope.
Like they're a recruiter, but we don't know them.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
Skeptical Dave is skeptical.
Yeah. No, but we got our names on it too. So if like, oh my god, that person was a butthole. Like we don't want that. So
No,
like,
and it's happened.
Yeah, exactly. So like you get, basically there's 5 that I'm like all day, just these are the ones you talk to.
Yeah.
Them,
Well, I think the other thing too is the companies, right?
Yeah.
Where we were together at, or even at Kelly, sometimes it's like, no, this isn't something I want to go send someone to. No one's gonna want to take that pay.
Well-
No one's gonna want this, that, or something else about it.
Yeah, my big
not appealing.
beef, and I'm just in sales. I can't imagine what like Dave has to go through, or like Dave's peers, is when a recruiter or HR says, you want to rewrite your resume to add this, this, and this, so that I can put it in front of my. I'm like, no, this is my goddamn resume. Like, I don't what. No.
In some cases that makes sense, and we've yacked about that before. There's a difference between and I guess here's the thing: better that they ask you to do that than they just go ahead and do it.
I couldn't imagine that.
That used to be insanely prevalent. Hopefully that's died away.
Well, you look at my career though. I've been direct sales, indirect sales, and alliances, and a mixture of all three. And like sometimes they just want to put me in a bucket where
Right.
I could just say, hey, I have experience doing all three facets of
Well, no, but like, I mean, at my level, it's usually, hey, I want you to tweak your resume to specify, to kind of bring out more about the team building aspects of what you're done, because this, this job is really heavy on, you're going to be building a 40-person team. Talk about what you've done there before, or, hey, it's this, it's this kind of architecture, this kind of environment. Just bring up to the top that this is what you've done and stress that a little bit more. It's usually not, hey, you need to rewrite shit. It's, hey, I know the client, I know what they're looking for and what they're going to want to see. You have it all there. Just rearrange stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a savviness, and there's a relationship with the staffing agency based on the conversation that they're having about like how strong it is with the manager. Right. So a job description is an old job description. It's been around for 8 years. Another manager got it. He doesn't want to create it from scratch. He has 7 different teams that want to hey, I want them to do QA now.
Right.
We're going to do the cloud. So put AWS on there. Hey, so next you get a job description. Oh, we're eventually going to be going mobile apps too. So throw that in there. Yeah. So the job description, when you get it, and I'm having a conversation with the developer, this person doesn't even exist. So it's like you're getting a savvy person if, hey, listen, here's a job description, but I talked to the manager.
Here's what they really need. Yeah.
2 and 3. Do you have that? Okay, let's take it. I can go and sell that to the manager. Hey, listen, here's someone that you need to talk to based on my conversation with him while working at ABC company. He did that. Get him on the phone. So that's what you really know as someone out there, whether it's Kelly or anyone else, based on that level of conversation, is whether you should be trusting that recruiter.
A lot of times if someone has a pretty solid resume, and it's like he said, there's certain points they want to, I'll just go write me a summary.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to rewrite the resume because it's pretty solid there. Just say,
yeah, tweak your summary and be done with it. Yeah.
Just go right to
Are cover letters dead?
I don't think they are. I mean,
does anybody read them?
No one reads them.
I mean, to me, the cover letter is like, oh, I'm ambitious, and versus really, like I say, like a technical
HR people read them. IT decision makers do not.
Right.
Does HR read them?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just curious.
They can't figure out the IT space, so they look for grammatical errors.
Yeah.
And a cover letter in the side.
So I mean, you guys being the experts, like for everybody listening,
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Not the cover letter expert, but like, so for people listening, like what are the key things that you're looking for in a resume?
Again, it's very specific. There's 266 programming languages.
Yeah.
Right. So IT is too vast for you you want to work with someone.
What do you do? Little of this, little of that.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Well, it sounds like when you were describing like a job description that was 8 years old, and then you're just tacking stuff on. It sounds like you're dealing with like a Frankenstein monster.
It's a grocery list. Every job description is a list of what we had in the past, what we need currently, and what we might need in the future. So you have to have a good understanding of that. Have a good rapport with the manager as to like, this manager I'm talking to needs exactly this, this, and this. Here's what they're going to be doing. I get to position that candidate with that experience if he has it or she has it.
So from a standpoint of us feeling, hey, what's the best position we think we're going to be able to fill? Is that manager willing to get on the phone and talk to me for 10 minutes? Because then you qualify those things, and it's like, oh, now I know what they'll find you.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like you guys are having to anticipate what the manager needs.
No, it's not really. I ask one simple question.
Well,
in order to do this job,
I've known a lot of managers.
In order to do this job,
well, it's a simple question. You might not get a simple answer, but it's.
I very rarely got past 3 skills. So a job order has 73 things on there. If I'm talking to a manager and I said, if I'm talking to a candidate, in order to do this job, day 1, the candidate will have these 3 technical skills. What are they? 1, 2, and 3. List them for me.
Yeah, what are they going to be doing their first 90 days? Go.
That's 1, 2, 3 technical skills, right? Give me a percentage breakdown responsibilities. As I'm going over this job requirement with a candidate that's new to your company, what are you going to have them doing? I know it'll change from project to project, but give me a rough estimate day to day, right? So now I got top 3 technical skills, percentage breakdown responsibilities. What do you want them to do the first 30, 60, 90 days? There's a job description. If I'm going to a candidate with that,
well, yeah, there's a job description, and then there's the job.
Yeah, and then there's the job. That is the job, really. So that's the job.
Right.
And I don't know how many times you hear, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be when I showed up for 3 months, right? I mean,
a lot. Yeah, that's happened all too frequently. But I mean, that kind of gets into the interview process. I mean, that's one of the things where I think a lot of people fall short is they get so anxious about getting a job, especially if they're actively versus passively looking, that I guess kind of getting back to one of the stories from the opening, they kind of overlook a lot of red flags,
Yeah.
and they don't ask enough questions. It's like, okay, what am I going to be? Doing that first 30, 60,
You
90
take
days?
Xanax, I'll go on a date with you. It's okay.
That's right. I don't care who you used to date. Just what's in your medicine cabinet.
Right, totally.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think that's a real issue is people don't know, and I don't know that skill's being taught because I mean, we've had this conversation a million times and everybody's always caught flat-footed. I don't know people have taught people how to interview the interviewer.
Right.
That's again, whether it's Kelly Services, whether it's any other agency out there, the recruiter should be preparing you very well at every stage of the interview process. And they should be preparing you throughout the entire hiring process. They should be preparing you when it comes to compensation and out-of-pocket benefits costs. Like they should really be walking you along. If they aren't doing that, then find someone.
Well, I mean, and that's honestly one of the benefits of working with a recruiter is there should be no surprises. That's the entire point.
Right.
I think this is kind of interesting. Like, it almost sounds like you're like an attorney for.
I do contracts too.
So like, you're not participating directly in the whole interview process.
No, sometimes clients do ask, "Do you want to join?" And I never do.
But so you're coaching the recruits.
You're preparing to, So based on that,
that's really beneficial for the potential recruit because you're going in and you're saying this is what you need to look for.
Right. Here's a job description. I
That's
really have a
cool.
deep understanding and I have a relationship with the hiring manager.
Right.
So I know what type of culture. I know what the office looks like. I know what type of the team is. So I have a really better, or I should have.
Right.
I should have a lot better.
Yes, when you get there, everybody's going to be wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Shut up and put on a suit.
Let's talk about it. You do another phone screen, you do an in-person, let's prepare.
So there's a lot of value in that. So like when people poo-poo, recruiters.
That means they didn't have a really good experience.
Filthy.
You're gonna do 12 years and
It is that's a technical term, but absolutely.
Thank you.
So, I mean, one of the beefs we always hear from the tech people that come to our events is those really short contracts. Like, we're going to put you on, but you're going to be there for 3 months. It's like, why? Like, you'd think from an employer perspective, bringing that person on, the cost of bringing someone just for is this just like trial and feel out, or do you follow where I'm going with this?
I'll let you.
You have to, and then as a recruiter and as a candidate, you have to ask the person, is this a contract to hire? And if the recruiter says to you, yes, this is potentially a contract to hire, you have every right in that interview to ask, is this a contract to hire?
Sure.
Like, hear that out because people are selling you that it might be a contract to hire when it might just be a short-term contract.
Right.
They're trying to get people out billing and get consulting hours.
Yeah.
They're not being very transparent with you.
Well, no, I mean, dude, like short-term gigs happen. Like you can get, either stuck on there's a project is vapor locked and you need somebody with a certain specific set of skills to come in and there's a deadline and that's the deadline for the project and that's all there is to it. And so, it's a 30, 60, 90 day window that you need them in there. I mean, that's due to like a lot of the IT security folks that were like, that's the reason why there's a negative unemployment rate is because a lot of them are taking a lot of those short-term gigs and they're floating around and multitasking. There are, or it's a, it's a project, usually it's a project with a finite end. Cause a lot of times when you're hearing 3 to 6 months, I would say more of those are usually a contract to hire situation than they are actually a short-term project.
Consulting engagement.
Yeah.
Right. I think it really depends on, like you just mentioned, the type of projects that they're on, right? So someone's not going to do a 3-month help desk project.
Right.
Right. That means you're probably a bad candidate. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to make you a contract. Yeah, they keep firing me after 3 months. Probably.
You might suck.
A hiring manager will find budget to keep good people on.
Oh, yeah. Especially
so
regardless
today. Of what it is. Yes, especially today. So good people are super, super hard to find. And so if you're doing 3 months, you probably need to come into Kelly and I can talk with you.
Well, I mean, and Dave was one of the guys that we were talking with back in late 2012 when the market started shifting. I mean, it was, we started our pink slip party events and that kind of stuff because so many people were out of work, couldn't get a call back from a recruiter, couldn't get anybody to touch base, that kind of stuff. And it was late 2012 when the pendulum started swinging back the other way, where it was the recruiters that were knocking on our doors going, hey, when's your next event? Hey, I can't find good people. Hey, I need you to, who do you know that's this kind of thing? And I'm still waiting. Because, I mean, we all know this is a very cyclical industry. I'm waiting for that. I think that was, kind of where you were getting at with one of your questions earlier, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that pendulum to start swinging back the other way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's going to happen.
It does.
Yeah.
That means the economy, crap. But listen, the tech sector has been driving the U.S. economy for 15 years. why we're here. I mean, and it's not rocket science. Staffing for IT there's 10 brand new verticals.
Yeah.
It didn't even exist 10 years ago.
True.
So it's super fun I'm with a company who's the Kelly Girl, put a bunch of, a whole new,
The steno desks.
Yeah. So, they're talking about the disruptor and they're like not realizing what IT is. We're like real small at Kelly. But
Well, the tech industry is genius for rebranding stuff that's already existed as
automation, right? It's
Right
like,
now,
everything's
like the
automated.
cloud. It was someone else's computer. Like
No, it's mainframe from the 1960s.
Right.
Shared resources.
Analytics.
Oh wait,
Analytics is new.
It's
big data. It's a lot of data.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's IP-less hosting. It's shared environments.
Right.
It's this. Yeah.
That's why I love it. Like, because what I do for a living is, the analytics, and it's like, they go, 5 things you should never talk to a CISO about. And it was like, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data. I'm like, shit, that's my sales pitch. Like,
All right. Delete slide number 1, 2, 3, and 5.
So
introductions, please.
Speaking of the buzzwords, I mean, Dave, we'll wrap this up real quick, but like, is there anything you're looking for that you can't find in town? Like, so we can put the word out. Is there anything like that ominous purple squirrel? Or
like that, we have an event coming up Thursday that people might want to come find you for.
Yeah. Actually, we do have some .NET stuff right at the moment.
Hey.
.NET's the most in demand thing.
Right.
Tall guy from Embrew, get your ass to
we got some mobile stuff that's out there. What else?
Mobile apps is super
Yeah.
big, of course.
Yeah.
Everything's going. Everyone's
wants to do
doubling.
that.
Everyone wants real estate on your phone. Yeah.
Business
BI,
intelligence,
analytics,
BI, Java,
everybody wants
.NET,
that.
mobile apps.
Like Java's going to be the new COBOL, man. That's never going away.
You have
Right.
you
Yeah,
have some
exactly.
companies that want to upgrade talent, and you have people that are stagnating when it comes to compensation.
Yeah.
So they're in that realm of like, hey, I need to move in order to make some money.
All right. Well,
So-
what are you learning to make that happen?
Yeah.
Dave, how do we get a hold of you online?
It's my first name, .dulac at kellyit.com.
It's DULLACK. Yep.
Yep. David.dulac.
Or you can just show up at an IT in the New event, because I don't think you've missed one in forever.
Not too often.
Yeah.
So, hey, honestly, Ed, Dave, appreciate the insight.
Thank
and,
you so much, guys.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate
Actually,
the
no, I
time.
wanted to ask one more question.
Oh,
before
go
I
ahead,
forget.
go ahead.
What's the IT market in Philly like versus here?
that's a good
IT
question.
market across the entire U.S. is booming. So I think you're seeing even the gentrification in every city. Every city I travel to is booming, and I think it's mainly for the tech sector. Every IT company is really getting closer to the cities where the universities, the schools are, try to get closer to town as soon as they graduate. So it's booming. It's unemployment for IT is negative, unless you're that 3-month contract
Right.
guy who keeps getting let go. He doesn't know why.
So do all the developers that you hire, do they do the Rocky run up the stairs and like put their arms up and then
That's one of them.
Well, except the statue's at the bottom of the stairs now.
Stupid art community. No, the best thing I did is I was halfway up the Rocky Steps, and it's not like the Rocky Steps is not like the Joe Louis steps. Like the Joe Louis steps, like those suck.
No, those are serious.
The Rocky Steps were like the most non-daunting.
There's some steps and then a plateau.
There's like 12
and then some steps and then a
There is
plateau.
3 rest areas.
There's like 12 steps going up. So like I go, it'd be really funny, and I'm a big dude, so I got about halfway and I grabbed my knees and started huffing and puffing. I go, take a picture. So like my buddy made a Rocky poster, but he called it Bobby, and it's like me on the steps halfway, like bent over, like grabbing my
black
knees.
and white. Grab it. Oh yeah.
Dave, Ed, thanks for hanging out with us.
so much,
Kelly's
man. Appreciate
Services, look them up online and show up at IT in the D event and see Dave. Won't miss them, just like me. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with they're getting sauced up. They've been here for 2 segments now.
Perfect.
Drinking all the booze. We got Sherry, Todd, and Luca here from Fifth Wall Escape. We're going to be talking about the Houdini trap room and the cool technology that goes along with it.
Wait. His name is Luca?
Yeah.
Do you live on the second
Oh,
floor?
I already did
Oh,
that.
I missed out.
You were in the back room as usual. I did all
was
the
show
jokes.
prepping, sorry.
I did all the
He's never
jokes.
answered it.
Exactly. No, he said he does.
Yeah, he's like,
I live upstairs from you. I think you've seen me before.
This is the IT in the D show.
Hey, we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D Show.
ITinthed.com.
Welcome back. Segment 3, episode 252 of the IT in the D show, broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit, Studio 1 in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Bob, a sales guy. Dave, the geek. Randy, I do the Twitter's Walker.
We
Find
have
us
to launch
online.
something else now.
What?
We have to launch something else now.
Why?
'Cause now we are IT and the D, and we are Podcast Detroit. So
we work at IT and the D. Goofballs, you silly kids.
Love you long time.
Find us online, itandthed.com, and like us on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Hey, so I got this email saying, hey, we want to be on your show. It's an escape room. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's cute. And no, like that's yeah.
cute.
It's not what you think.
Something I never, but then all of a sudden I start reading more and they're like, hey, all this technology is involved and there's algorithms and there's fiber and there's this. I'm like, ooh, like usually I just thought it was some stupid puzzle book and a key, and but like apparently
some unemployed actor in a zombie outfit.
Right.
Room. Yeah.
couple unloaded guns. Like, wait, what do I do with this? Some saws and some handcuffs. But no, this is a totally different thing. But we have the team here from its Fifth Wall Escape, the Houdini Trap Room. Sherry, Todd, and Luca, what is happening? You guys are awesome.
Hi.
Now you're quiet. You've been loud since the minute you walk in here, and now you're like, hi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. So I guess before we get diving into deep, talk to me about I guess the Fifth Wall Escape Room and I guess what prompted to start it, and we'll go from there.
Todd.
So I think to start off, if you're not familiar with escape rooms,
Well, so and Todd, I guess to preface, like you're a repeat offender.
yeah,
like
no,
you've been on the show before.
I have been here before. Yes.
Back with the that organic dating app.
Yes, yes, definitely. And that's actually I told Luca and Sherry, I'm like, we should really contact those guys because I think they'd be interested in what we've done. Not from an escape room perspective, because you guys, I can tell, don't want to be locked in a room, but you would be interested in the technology.
I like solving puzzles.
Okay, well, you guys you have to come out.
It's my job. That's what I do.
So
you have fun.
If you're not familiar with escape rooms, they actually started in Europe and Asia in the mid 2000s, and the first escape room didn't actually hit the shores of the U.S. until
I think they were originally just called dungeons. Is what
but they used the
movie Saw
in 2012 in San Francisco. And,
let's play a game.
And they've taken off. I love how I'm just going on and. Okay. So anyway, so they started in San Francisco here, and then they've spread all over. Detroit has their share. We like to think that we're what's called a third generation escape room, which is a highly automated escape room where a group of people walk in to solve puzzles, and the room essentially runs itself. So the decisions that people are making in the room will actually make things happen in the room independent of what we do. Actually, we had a group in last night, and Luca was kind of laughing and saying, actually, because they were like, well, do you actually open things, doors and stuff when we do stuff? And Luke was like, actually, we could just like put you in this room and just walk away for 60 minutes and the room would just react to everything that you do.
Interesting. So I guess so what were the first two generations then? Why is this third generation? How does that all work?
So the first generation generally is considered a room that you would go into where you would read puzzles on a piece of paper and unlock physical puzzles.
I think that's what everybody's familiar with. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second generation started integrating some of the first generation material into some small things like mag locks that would unlock based on something you would push, a button and would open a box. So the third generation is considered a room where you have a full immersive experience, where you have created an environment where it feels like you've completely entered a different world.
No. They have D-box seats, Bob.
We kind of liken it to like a Disney amusement park experience, where if you say go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride or the Haunted Mansion, but then add the experience of actually interacting.
Yeah, you're not just sitting in a car going through it.
Oh, I like those though. You just sit there and do nothing.
Right.
Lazy.
That's your kind of escape room.
Lazy.
Totally.
Lazy River.
That would be Bob. Bob would be standing in the corner drinking a beer while the rest of us were solving puzzles. Let's be
Totally.
clear. Yeah.
So that's your third generation, where the room could essentially operates based on how the group that is going into it reacts to the room. And so if they're solving puzzles, then the room knows that they're solving those puzzles and then gives them feedback based on that.
Okay.
And Luca has done a really good job. So the way we kind of built the Fifth Wall escape rooms was we wanted to go into it and make it a Detroit-centric experience. And we wanted to have all of our rooms and all of our experiences based on the history of Detroit and Detroit related. So the first thing we did was the Houdini trap, because that's based on the fact that Houdini actually died in Detroit in 1926.
Isn't there some debate on that?
No, he actually died.
Zero debate.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, it's a fact that he actually died in Detroit.
I always thought he did too, but then there's people that say no, he just.
Who
I'm friends with some people in the magic
I
community.
saw him in Meyer this Saturday.
No, he actually died in Detroit in 1926. He came here.
It's like at the Majestic, right, or somewhere.
So the way what happened was he was in Quebec performing, and then he got punched in the stomach by a college student. Then he got on a train to Detroit. Actually, arrived at the Michigan Central train station, which is in the news recently.
Right.
Ford's acquisition. Performed at the Garrick Theater, which it was on the corner of Gratiot and Michigan. And fainted on stage, and then about 6 days later, he died at Detroit's Grace Hospital.
Got it.
Then they shipped him back to New York for his funeral.
Huh. Okay.
So our first room is based on that fact, and it's called the Houdini Trap. And so we wrote it ourselves, and then we're going to have two more rooms, again based on urban legends and also history. We're doing a 1970s Italian restaurant that's based on the Jimmy Hoffa disappearance.
Oh, Marcus Red Fox. Yeah.
And then we're also doing an 80s horror theme for the kids. For the kids.
For the kids.
But yeah, it's really easy to say, okay, well, let's do this, but it's hard to actually build the technology around the puzzles, and that's where Luca came in, and he did a lot of work. Running wire through the room. I mean, we've talked about it. There's like 1,500 feet of wire.
A little over a third of a mile of wire in a room about the size of this studio, actually, just a little bit larger. Wow. It's a lot of wire.
That's yeah.
Long story short, I just make Todd's fantasies become a reality.
And so we're employing
there's
like
a bell
Arduinos.
somewhere.
Oh, right there.
So we're employing Arduinos, which is an open source. I call them cheese boards.
Yep.
He calls them breadboards and something.
Who doesn't like bread and cheese?
That's real.
Yep.
So so it's really interesting because we have all of this technology running through a room that is supposed to have been designed in 1926. So it's an interesting balance between history and technology. And to create that immersion factor for people who come into the room, it's interesting because we honestly have people who come and we tell them the story, and they say, "So is this room? Did you actually discover this room? And was this actually made for Houdini?"
Absolutely.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We did. Yes.
Which is, I guess, says to a certain extent that we've done our job, right? And but once they arrive in the room and they start doing the puzzles and they start seeing how these puzzles work, and they just automatically make things happen, where we've got certain sounds and we've got music and we've got lighting effects and things opening on their own based on the decisions they're making. It's really satisfying watching the players come through.
If you lose, you don't die, do you?
Yes.
You disappear. You disappear.
The door's locked.
Yeah, the floor
You get punched
opens
in the
and you
stomach
fall into
by
a
a
pit of
college
acid.
student.
Fine.
Sharks with laser beams on their head. Yeah.
There's like a record now for amputees, and he tries to cut your legs off.
Yes.
We had a friend this weekend that said that we actually should have someone write a Yelp review that says, we are currently still in the escape room, and if anyone can help us, please let us.
Yeah, here's our current. Well, I guess
I'm just going to relate to the Yelp review, just my classic. Went to the escape room, got diarrhea.
Yours will simply be, it's a trap. That's all it's going to. So I guess what kind of puzzles? I mean, obviously without giving away the room and all that stuff, but what kind of puzzles should people be expecting when they come?
Well, there's a whole variety of puzzles. And in terms of the technology behind them, there's also a variety of technology. Kind of taking what Todd and Sherry have talked about and in their mind and making it become a reality. So like one thing I did is take essentially a movie poster, 24 by 36, turn it into a giant touchscreen. So people need to figure out how to solve a puzzle by touching it. Touching the movie poster. Another thing, something kind of cool, which I call it resto modding. So you take something really old, like an old telephone intercom system from the 1920s.
Okay.
And you rip out all the guts, put in new electronics, and now essentially I've got a voice recognition lady who comes over the phone. Not only does the phone ring, but it also talks to you. And then it recognizes your voice based on like basic phonetics, and it'll decipher what you're saying. And if you say certain things.
Which is crazy because we literally took a 1920s personal intercom system for like a large house in the 1920s. Mm-hmm. And it's the classic, you have to speak into the wall and you pick up the receiver and you listen to it. And Luca totally ripped the guts out of this thing. Totally rewired it, and he actually made it. He made it basically like a Siri,
it's like
where it talks. So there's a certain action that you take in the room where you have to initiate its ringing, and it's the old school ringer, and it rings on the wall.
Well, let's talk about the initiation. There's actually a rotary dial phone, which is very fun to watch a younger generation try to figure out how to dial.
Connect me to KL359, please.
Exactly.
No, it actually is pretty crazy. You get some younger people, and they look at it like it's some sort of alien technology,
like a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur.
I know it's got numbers on it, and
they just sit there and push them, waiting for something to happen.
They think that's the main puzzle in the room.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, make a phone call. You can escape. That's
Actually, they molested it so much that we actually had to go buy an old school, like from 1970s, this little brass lock that goes into like the first, like
so it only goes.
Dude, so it will only go to one. And then, so now you have to find the key in order to unlock that brass lock, so they don't just keep dialing and dialing
right
and dialing
from the beginning. Because
exactly.
like this particular puzzle happens later in the game, and we were finding that people were, like she was saying, molesting this rotary dial right from the beginning. So every clue that they got, they thought it was related to the rotary dial.
Every
so
number
we were like,
they found.
Any number. They looked at their hands. They're like, I've got 10 fingers. It must be 10.
If you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So it's interesting seeing the evolution of the game go. There's a perception of how people will react to your puzzles, and then there's the reality of it. And what we're finding is that people are reacting differently than we anticipated. So in the example of the rotary dial, we had to physically go out and get a lock to make people stop using it earlier in the game. So it was a recognition that, okay, this is not something I can do until later. And then they get the key later, and then they can start using it.
The shotgun.
Right.
Yeah, and that's not to mention the cattle prod.
Nice. So I guess I haven't been to one. What does something like this cost? How far out do reservations have to get made? That sort of thing.
Great question. During the week, we have a lower rate of $20 from Monday through Thursday.
That's totally cheap.
Exactly. On the weekends, it's $28 for
Still
per
cheap.
person, of course. And we run a lot of specials. For example, on Mondays, we like to say Fast Cash Mondays. If you want to call and make a reservation, that's fine. And then you don't have to put a credit card down. You just come in and pay us $15 per person. So that's even less than $20.
Nice.
Right.
15 being less than 20, yeah.
Exactly.
And since we're on the
so
subject,
quick.
while we were sitting here, I created a promotion for everyone listening, all the IT and the D listeners.
Nice.
You little stinker.
So if you type in ITD as a promotion, you'll get 30% off your
Awesome.
like Luca and Sherry are looking at me like 30% off. But no, yes. So
did
if you're
what?
Mama
listening,
needs a new pair of shoes.
ITD.
Yeah, prices are now $35. You get 30% off that. And then
ITD is the promotion for everyone listening.
Awesome. So, and how many people can I show up with?
So the max of the room is 10 people. We have a minimum of 2 because you cannot do it by yourself. You at least have to have 2 people, max of 10.
Okay.
So couples welcome that want to get away from their kids to just escape and not even get out.
Absolutely.
Or get out. We're just stuck in here for like 4 hours.
They're just gonna sit
couples
there for
welcome
an
to
hour.
drop off their kids.
This is just beautiful.
Wait, so what happens at like an hour and they don't do anything and
Bye,
they're stuck?
Felicia. Get
the
out.
door opens up. It's
You're
like, get
done.
out.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. We open the
Willy
door.
Wonka shows up
You
on
know,
a big screen.
Yeah.
You get nothing. You lose.
Depending on how far they've gotten in the puzzle, if you've gotten really close, we ask if you'd like to know how far you are and what the last couple puzzles would have been to figure it out, and we'll walk you through that.
Would you like to know how close you were to not sucking?
Is it an intercom? Like you go up. So
Well,
like,
we have an intercom,
Like, guys,
however-
you are so cold. Like you might as well just get out now.
We can't.
Okay.
Yes, we
Okay.
can't come over the intercom.
Yeah, but at the end, we actually come in and we physically say, "Hey, you
So
were really
what
close."
kind of sets us apart from a lot of the other escape
You lie to
rooms?
them and tell them how close they were.
Totally, yes.
They say you're beautiful.
But we also have a narrator. So
Special.
there's a storyline attached to the Houdini trap, which is based in history. And you have to not only escape the room, but you have to discover who built the room for Houdini. And that individual actually narrates the room while you're going through it. He tells you how well you're doing, your progress, and that's all pre-recorded.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then in addition to that, we will from time to time come over an intercom because we're watching you with several
We're always
cameras
watching you.
and a microphone.
Breathing
Stop
heavy in the
touching
microphone.
Yeah.
Stop
so
touching
when you
that.
start tearing apart, when you start taking an axe to the wall, we say,
Stop
you
it.
probably shouldn't do that.
That's a poster,
Stop
not a
it.
doll.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm afraid you can't do that right now, Dave.
But
That's our 2001 escape room. That's coming up.
Yeah, exactly. No, very cool. So, and people find you at FIFTH wallescape.com. Very, very cool. And ITD is a discount.
And you're right on 9 Mile, basically in Woodward, Ferndale.
Yeah, we're right on.
Dude, they're right
on,
up the street from the old studio.
Yes.
Right.
So we're right just north of 9 Mile on Hilton.
We're at 1930 Hilton Road, Ferndale, Michigan.
We're the place that has the really nice chandeliers in the front.
We have beautiful curtains. I made them. Beautiful. I'm not lying.
Very proud of
Next
it.
to the, is it the omelet place? It's like best omelet in the world.
The Omega?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big fluffy omelets.
Yeah.
Big fluffy omelets. That's
Good,
their
good.
tagline.
So,
yes.
yeah. So, one more question and I'll cut you guys loose. If you win, what do you get? Just the satisfaction of knowing? Bragging rights?
Well,
A free omelet?
We take your
Golden
picture,
nugget.
and then you get to hang out with us.
If you're lucky, Carmen the escape room dog will be there.
Oh yeah, Carmen the escape room dog.
She's
That's-
the sweetest thing you've ever
It's very
seen.
satisfying.
You get to pet a dog if you win. That sounds
She's
amazing.
super
Well, this is
soft.
not just any dog. This is Carmen the escape room
Probably
dog.
you're
Come
paying
on, Bob.
$20 to go solve puzzles, Bob. What do you want?
I don't know.
What do you want? Your name on a plaque? Anyway, you want to add it to your Wikipedia
I thought
page?
I thought like Erebus, you got like your money back. I don't know.
Nobody gets their money back.
Ah, I thought they did. I don't know. All right. Well, hey, fifthwallescape.com. Thank you for hanging out with us, Sherry, Todd, Luca. And hopefully we'll be able to hang out. And
I kind of want to give it a
I
shot.
wouldn't mind doing it.
Come by.
I poo-poo it, but I'll
We'll get a groove. You will. You will just sit in the corner drinking a beer, yelling, "It's a
Totally.
trap," and
Totally.
that'll be fine.
But hey, thank you for the time spent. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Keep us updated what's going on if anything changes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely. So, hey, we're going to wrap things up for this episode of 252 of the IT and the D Show. We'd like to thank our guests, Ed and Dave from Kelly Services, Sherry, Todd, and Luca from Fifth Wall Escape. Also like to thank our sponsors, Huawei, IT Pro TV, and Huawei.
And Huawei.
Do us a favor. On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Drive careful. Be safe. Beat it.
Have a good night, folks.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash!
You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the trees.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.